Guys, one thing, this channel is just about, learning new stuff, and so talking just to the camera about the thing that I just learned. So I was doing the inner engineering course and I was like, oh my God, now it all makes sense. After the fourth lesson, this is the third time that I do the inner engineering, but this time that I have more spiritual knowledge, that I'm more aware, it kind of hit differently. And this weekend I will have the final initiation. But up until this moment, it was like, okay, the last lesson, it was a recap about all the other previous stuff and also making it all sense together. So basically, the whole inner engineering process, the whole yoga is about becoming more existential and less psychological. The problem is that your mind and so your body creates suffering just because your creation that you made up in your mind. The problem is that you forgot you made it up and now you think it's yourself, and so the whole drama of suffering comes. If you want to reach your max potential, you need to be in a pleasant state. All science right now is telling you the same thing. If you want to become to the best version of yourself and also act at your best way, you need to be in a pleasant state. And if you want to be in a pleasant state, you need to, of course, stop the suffering. So, how you stop the suffering? It all comes together to this one thing. You become more existential and less psychological. How do you do that? Well, the whole process is, of course, if you know inner engineering, you know what I mean. So this video is basically for people who followed the program. But if you have any question, just let me know. I will try to make a new video with different terminology. Basically, it starts with responsibility. If you see you're responsible for everything, then you can see you are able to respond to everything. So you are not limited to just what you like, what you don't like, your family, your things. No, you respond to everything because you already respond to everything. But if you're conscious, if you're aware that you actually are able to respond to everything, then you are open to life. So, first thing, you see you're responsible uh, of everything, for everything. Then if you're responsible for everything, you start becoming more aware of life around you. If you become more aware, you start seeing life right now instead of your mind. So you become in this moment, you get to the present moment, which means you become aware of what's happening right now. You become aware of the inevitability of this moment. You start seeing that besides this moment, there's nothing else. It all happens here and it all happens now. Everything you thought of past is just the present moment in your mind. Everything you think about the future is just your imagination in your mind in the present moment. So it all happened here, which is basically the whole teaching of Eckhart Tolle is just the second part. If you, and then third part, if you are aware of this moment, so you start responding consciously to life, you become aware and you acknowledge that this moment is inevitable, so you accept what is there right now. Of course, everything that you do not like, everything that is suffering is because you do not have in this moment right in front of you what you want. But if you accept this moment as inevitable, because it actually is, it's the only truth that you have, that there is only this moment and you cannot escape it, because it's existentially the only one truth, then you start accepting it. Because if you see it's there, you cannot not accept it. If you accept what is there right now, you accept everything as it is, right? So as I mentioned before, if you accept, if you have right in front of you what you want, it means you are not suffering. So if you accept everything as it is right now, because it's the only thing you can do, if you become responsible for everything, then everything you want is right there, which means you cannot suffer. So basically, if you accept this moment as inevitable, you accept what is there. And if you accept what is there, it becomes a part of you and you become equanimous, which means you stop seeing things with your likes, with your dislikes, with your karma, with your personality, with the filter of your mind, with the filter of what you want, what you don't want, your past, your future. No, with no filters, you start seeing everything as it is. And if you are equanimous, by being equanimous, you stop creating new karma or bondage. If you stop creating bondage, you are liberating yourself. That's it. Only the process of life. Don't worry about the karma that you have in the past, the bondage, the memory. It all will take care of itself even just by living. The problem is stop creating new karma. So you stop creating bondage or karma or memory by just acting equanimously. If you want to act equanimously, you need to see you're responsible for everything. By seeing you're responsible, you will become aware. By becoming aware, you see the inevitability of this moment. By seeing the inevitability of this moment, you accept it, and so you become equanimous. Once you're equanimous, you don't filter your life, your experience of life with your data. You just see it as it is. So you slowly and slowly and slowly, day after day, uh, create and dissolve karma. Create less karma and dissolve the karma that you already have. If you see you're responsible for everything, the way I am is 100% my way, no new karma. And suddenly you will start re-engineer yourself, and the universe will start responding to you in a completely different way. So it's all about bringing you back here instead of being in your mind. It's all about, as I said in the beginning, being existential instead of psychological. That's it. I know it's not something you're supposed to understand, because you're just supposed to do the things that you need to do, like yoga and sadhana, and then all these things will not even be um, necessary to understand. You just do it because you cannot understand truth, because it's right here, right now. It's existential. But I think if you at least understand something about it, maybe it can help. I don't know, maybe it's my Western ego or karma that makes me think about this. But I don't know. It's just about understanding that the way you experience life is inside of you, and you can be responsible for that. If you see you're responsible, then the whole process that I just mentioned begins. So I think he can actually bring you a lot of peace and reach your max potential, because you start, becoming pleasant and reaching so the best version of yourself. So do your sadhana, of course, but this is the fundamental, mechanics as I understood. Maybe let me know in the comments if you think it's wrong or if you understood it differently. But in my opinion, as I saw, it's not just in engineering, but as I saw in many different teachings, this is kind of a not a summary, but a very nice way to explain the spiritual process and the mechanics of life and how it works. But of course, you need to know what karma is, how it works before understanding this thing, what responsibility means, what being equanimous means. So you need to practice and learn a little bit more. But once you have the basics, as I told you, I recommend you inner engineering or other courses. I think you can understand a lot, and this will be a very nice and useful video once you see it. So yeah, that's it. That's it. So freedom will be just, being able to not just acting according to your likes and dislikes, your limits, but according as you want and as it's necessary at the moment or at maximum your capability. This is freedom. So if you are equanimous, you can actually don't have preferences. You can do whatever is necessary joyfully, or whatever you want, or however you want, which of course will be joyfully. You take charge of your life again by taking charge of your inner experience of life. So this means you can actually live and create the destiny that you want. This is the summary of so many teachings that I learned, and I hope I made it clear, because in my mind it's very clear. But I know actually the logical understanding of this is not enlightening as doing the practice is. It's like, going to the gym or making a tree grow. Of course, learning how to make it grow is okay, is fine. How it works is fine. maybe it can help, but then you need to anyway go to the gym or go to the garden and pour water and make it have sun, you know what I mean? So, and check this out, just to add something that while I was doing the video during night, it's the day after I recorded the previous video. I was thinking about something and I just wrote it down. Let me read it for you. If you stop creating, it means in your head, if you stop creating conclusions and just do the things that I told you before, just be aware. You move from illusion to reality. The moment you start creating, you get deeper into the illusion. So don't get conclusions. Accept that you do not know a damn thing. Just take some time to become more silent and be more aware so that you can start seeking life as it is, which is also throbbing within you. So it's not just seeking around you, it's also within you. So the thing is, just be open, stop believing you can only seek what you don't already know. Don't just live trying to make life agree with your mind conclusions. Be aware of the illusion and live intensely each day, not thinking about the future. Another kind of way to explain it. So it's the same thing that I told you before. It's about being more existential instead of psychological. Stop creating illusions, things in your head, conclusions, belief systems. Just learning to step aside and become more silent, which means becoming more aware. Listen to everything within you and around you, and you actually start living more intensely and so liberating yourself. And once you are like that, you actually do what's necessary, because if you are joyful, naturally you start doing what's necessary because you have no more preferences, and fundamentally you start doing basically what you care for, which means everyone and you, and the end of the day, fundamentally, essentially, you want the same thing, which is to create a peaceful, joyful, and loving world. And it's not about doing something extraordinary, it's about how you do your stuff. So your daily life, how you do it, that's the main thing. If you start responding in your daily life that way, actually that's it. And so, of course, use your tools, body, mind, emotions consciously. So you start creating the life that you want instead of creating the nonsense that also can block your important thoughts. So you keep creating stupid nonsense in your mind, and these can also block your other thoughts, which will make you pleasant or can manifest something pleasant for you. So keep the intelligence of life full on, and you don't have to create anything. It's just everything already there. That's it. Hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments what you think, and I'll see you in the next one. Or if you want to support me, please subscribe. If you have any questions, just leave a comment down below or DM me on Instagram. See you guys in the next video.